All right, Shalom Israel, we live. All right, Shalom Israel, you live. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm Priest and Captain Soccer Wall, holding down the class here from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis. Teach so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. Since 1969, we have been teaching the truth in the hopes to wake up the Lord's chosen people, bring them back to the knowledge of who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is here on the earth. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And this knowledge of who we are, where we come from, and what makes us special in the earth is definitely important in 2020, especially in the times we're living in, seeing that we are living in a time where the Most High is beginning to visit the earth and beginning to cause the end and the fall of the empire that we have been suffering and oppression under for the past 400 years. Now is the time for so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians to gain the understanding of who they are, to find out what they're supposed to do and how we're supposed to be living so that we can survive these times and prepare ourselves to reclaim the seat of power and rulership in the earth, which the Most High intended us for from the beginning. So the purpose of these classes is to allow us to go into the Bible and to get some wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of these things that the Most High has prepared for us so that we can find our way through these difficulties in the world that we're living in today. Tuesday night is a Brotherhood class. Wednesday is biblical law. Thursday is scripture breakdown. All right. Tonight being a Brotherhood class, the title of the class is Living in Fear. Living in Fear. All right. Before I go into the topic of tonight's class, I'd like to open up the class to questions. I see the sister Anisha has already asked her question that she sent to me privately. So we're going to dive into that first. If any of you brothers and sisters have any questions, all you got to do is type them in. Of course, if you have any family or loved ones, people you care about in Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with us here in the ISUPK in Memphis so that we can help them to be able to get in contact with us, you know, and get the knowledge and the support and experience the brotherhood that we provide here in the body of Christ. Everybody understands? All right, so Sister Anisha asked, why do blacks trade black power for white supremacy? She's asking, why do blacks trade black power for white supremacy? Sister Anisha, I need a little bit more from you in terms of what you mean by black power. I understand what you mean by white supremacy. She's asking, why is it that black people, instead of standing together, instead of choosing themselves, why do we prefer our oppressor? Why do we run to our oppressor? Why do we, you know, go vote? Why do we go and join their religion? Instead of us standing together as black people, why do we run to white supremacy? Well, part of the answer to that question, sis, is what do black people think of black power? So when I asked you, you said, why do blacks trade black power for white supremacy? What do you mean by black power, sister? When you think of black power, what is in your mind? What's black power? And for all of you out there, think about it. What does the average black person think of black power? And if you can understand what the majority of black people think of black power, then you'll understand why they trade that for white supremacy. I got two scriptures waiting for you, Sister Anisha. You can tell me what is black power? What is black power? then I can give you the answer why black people trade black power for white supremacy. All right. Anybody else want to chime in? What do the average black person think of black power? When you think of black power, what comes to your mind? Hell, maybe think about when you were growing up. Think about when you were young. You hear the term black power. What comes to your mind when you hear black power? Okay, a sister Aranya said, if a man who is not in the truth is with a woman who is, how can she win him over? Okay, no problem, sis. I'll answer that after this, okay? The answer for the sister Aranya applies if a woman is in the truth or not. There's a way that a woman can win a man over, whether that man is in the truth or whether he's not in the truth. All right, Malakia says money. Is that your answer to the question of black power, Malakia? Do black people think of money when they think of black power? Anisha said black sticking together, black grocery stores, black banks, etc. Okay. All right. We're getting something now. Let me get a couple more answers, a couple more seconds for y'all to answer. When the average black person thinks of black power, what do they think of? All right. Christianity and marching. Sister Waraka. Malakia said from a worldly sense. Okay, I'm going to help y'all out, right? I'm going to help y'all out. Black power in America is fighting the white man. That's what black power is. Black power is fighting the white man. And in the mind of the average black person, fighting the white man means not accepting anything that white people have provided or given to the world. You ever talk to somebody about black power and they say, I know that I've known this from being on the streets many years and going to camps and teaching. We out there, we telling black people, you're the greatest people on the planet. God has chosen you. God chose you to be special, for you to be his kings and his priests. And the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. He's your oppressor. And you have a person out there that says, why don't y'all just go get a job? Go get a job. Why you on this corner angry? You know why they tell us to go get a job? Because they assume that we're angry about not having money. They assume that we on that corner yelling and pulling out all the crimes of the white man and reading the Bible because we're poor. They think that anybody black who has a problem with America can't get a job. You must not be able to pay your rent because you're angry. That's why you're angry. You're angry because you're broke, because you're poor. I'll give you another thing. You ever been out there teaching? We out there teaching. We blazing on the white man, blazing on America, talking about the crimes they've committed against black people. And somebody out there will say, but if you hate America so much, why don't you leave America? Why don't you go back to Africa? And you'll look at them and say, leave America? Why would I have to leave America? Because I don't want to be oppressed by the white man. What does being in America have to do with that? I'll go to Africa and be oppressed. I'll fly to Cuba and be oppressed. They think that when we say the white man is the devil, that we're trying to get black people to leave America. They think black power is leaving America. I'll give you the final thing. I've been out there teaching. We've been out there teaching, blazing, and some nigga will come and say, you hate the white man. Why are you wearing his clothes? Why are you wearing his boots? Take that white man's boots off. They think that black power is, give the white man back his toilet tissue. Give the white man back his, boots and the denim that he made these jeans. Give the white man back his electricity. The average black person thinks that black power is refusing everything that white people have. When that is not black power. That is not what this is about. Black power is not the white man is the devil, so I'm going to unplug my TV and give away my microwave and not use a cellular phone device. That's not black power. Black power is that the white man is the devil, so I'm never going to go work a 9-to-5 job. I'm never going to get a paycheck and pay bills and pay taxes. That's not black power. Black power is that the white man is the devil, so I'll never send my kids to a school to get an education and a diploma. But that's what the average black person thinks. The average black person thinks black power is fighting white people. And the only way in their mind to fight white people is to give up everything white people have provided to society. Because the white man is the devil, I'll never watch a TV because TV comes from the white man. Because the white man is the devil, I'll never wear no boots because boots come from the white man. Because the white man is the devil, I'll never use toilet tissue to wipe my behind because toilet tissue comes from the white man. That's what the average black person thinks. And if you think that way about black power, well, I'll never join black power neither. If I thought being in the truth meant I can't, wipe my behind with toilet tissue, yeah, man, later for that truth thing. I can't do that right now. If I thought that being in the truth meant, I couldn't play video games, then yeah, I don't know, B. Them cats is radical, man. They crazy, bro. They say I couldn't play no PlayStation. If being in the truth meant I could not buy clothes at the store because white people make money off of that, then yeah, it'd have been rough. Where am I get my clothes from? So black people have a warped idea of what black power is. The sister Anisha said that black power was having black stores, having black businesses, black stores, black banks. Anisha, what you have to understand is that to the average black person, black is less than white. To the average black person, they know what the white grocery store has. They know they go up in that ShopRite, or they go in that Kroger, or they go in that Giant, or that Shoppers Food Warehouse. They know if they go in that grocery store, the grocery store gonna have what they need. But when they think about a black grocery store, black grocery stores out of toilet tissue. The black grocery store only got 20% milk. It ain't got the regular milk. It ain't got the almond milk. The black grocery store, they got canned fruit, but they ain't got no fresh fruit. They have in their mind that black is less. That black is on a lower level. You understand? That is why they don't choose black. Malakia, good, Most High Christ. He said he missed a few minutes. Where did this way of thinking come from? The brother wants to know why is it that the majority of black people have the idea that black is worse? It came from the civil rights movement, Malakia. It came from Martin Luther King and those preachers and those men in the 60s telling you that unequal was unfair. That there being a white water fountain and a black water fountain, man, that ain't right because this black water fountain ain't shit. And there was a black bathroom and a white bathroom, man. That black bathroom is nothing. Who wants to use that black toilet? It came from, you can't go, you go into the Cotton Club, but you got to go into the back door because that's where niggas come in. You can't walk through that front where the white people walk through. See, what happened with the civil rights movement was a couple different concepts came together at the same time. And history does not tell you the true context of the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was about equal pay for black people doing the same job as white people. That's what it was about. It was about equal pay for doing the same job and for allowing black people to have access to the jobs that white people had access to. Those pushcart worker riots and protests in the South was about black people getting paid the same as white people for doing the same job. It wasn't about, sitting on the same toilet as a white man or eating in the same restaurant as a white man. It wasn't about having equal schools, the school where the black kids are being the same as the school where the white kids were. That never was the argument. It was about black people getting a fair shake, getting treated fairly. If I do the same job as this white man, I want to get paid the same amount of money. And so history has made it seem like the civil rights movement was about eating at a white restaurant. We didn't care about no white restaurant. We had black restaurants. They make it seem like it was about going to white schools. We didn't care about no white schools. We had black schools. All we wanted was a school on our side of town, if anything. But we wasn't caring about going to white schools. Black schools and black colleges were producing black engineers and black doctors more than any time in history. We weren't mad about having black schools. Historically, black people have grown up believing that black is worse. When you think about the civil rights movement, if there's a black water fountain and a white water fountain, and everybody wants to drink from the white water fountain, subconsciously that black water fountain wasn't shit. If there was a black restaurant and a white restaurant, and everybody wanted to eat at the white restaurant, subconsciously that black restaurant wasn't shit. If there's a black doctor, black lawyer, if there's a black, tailor, and there's a white one, and everybody wants the white one to serve them, then that black doctor, that black lawyer, that black tailor could not have been shit. And I'm telling you that I grew up in a time where I didn't know about a black doctor or black lawyer. I didn't know about a black grocery store. But in my mind, what you want to go to a black grocery store for? Ain't that why they fought for equality? Ain't that why they fought for civil rights to not go to the black one? A lot of us have that mentality and we don't even understand it. We don't even know why. You understand? The average black, to the sister Carla Hudson, the average black person doesn't think, but they consider black power to be revolutionary, but they think the revolution is throwing away everything that white people have. But that's not revolution. You understand? Black power is morality. Black power is how you live your life, what you think. Black power is not giving up everything that we've gained in America. Everything America has that's great came from black people. Why the hell would we give it up? Why would we give it up? Black power, the truth is not about giving up everything that we've gotten from growing in America. This movement is about giving our love and our allegiance to the Most High, not our oppressor. This is about the oppressor provides a lifestyle that allows you to be whatever you want to be. But that lifestyle destroys black people. So we're going to give our spirit to the Most High. We're going to give our bodies to the Most High, give our actions to the Most High. And the rest of everything else that we have to benefit, we'll benefit in this society. But we're going to benefit while following the rules of God. That's what black power is about. And the average black person is scared of that. They're scared of someone telling them what to do, scared of someone telling them how to live their lives because they love the life that they've been able to live under their oppressor. They love the life that they've been able to live, you understand, under the so-called white man. You understand? Bear with me. You understand? Salaki. Here are the two scriptures that show you in the Bible why black people turn their back on black power and serve the oppressor. Proverbs 3 and 30. Proverbs chapter 3, Proverbs 3 and 31. Proverbs 3 and 31. Proverbs 3 and 31 says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. You want to know why black people choose the oppressor rather than black power? Because they are jealous of the white man and they want what he has. They want what white people have so much, they'll do anything for it. That entire civil rights movement in the 60s, the leaders of that movement wanted what white people had. And one day I'm gonna do an in-depth lecture on it and show you just who was at the root of that civil rights movement. But Bayard Rustin and Philip A. Randolph were two black men that were responsible for that March on Washington. You understand? And Bayard Rustin and Philip A. Randolph were two black homosexuals, two black college-educated, you understand, Greek fraternity pledging homosexual men who wanted to be joined to white people. So you have to understand that there's a mentality that exists among black people who have been given a taste of white society. There's a mentality that black people who and at some part of their lives were able to get a taste of whiteness, they fell in love with it, man. It was so freeing to them. It was so, just liberating to just pretend to be a white person. It's like a drug. And when you're black and you get a taste of that white drug, it's like any crack cocaine, any heroin, any addictive substance that you'll do anything to have it. You'll do anything to get it. And throughout time and memorial, throughout history, anytime Israelites have gotten a taste of what it's like to be one of these other nations, we will give anything for it. Martin Luther King got a taste of white women's sex, and he would give anything for some white woman's sex. He'd sell black people up and down a river for white woman's sex. Bayard Rustin, A. Philip Randolph got a taste of, white homosexuality, got a taste of white fraternity, and they would do anything, brother, to, anything possible to be able to exist in that. I'm just now learning that some of these black people who I used to look up to, who I used to hear them and think, oh man, they were intelligent and this and that, they were black homosexuals who really were jealous of white people. A lot of the speakers that we hear about from that civil rights movement, a lot of them were homosexuals, man. A lot of them were gay. They were college educated and loving white people. What's the cat's name? This cat's a famous poet. You hear his voice everywhere. He was a flaming faggot. Huh? He was a flaming homosexual. Man, I can't think of this cat's name right now. But if you do some research on these cats, they were gay. They were in love with white people. They loved the idea of being joined to white people. And everything they did was to not be a nigga, but to be accepted by their oppressor, be accepted by their slave master. God warned us against that. Again, Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. We should have, if we knew God, we would have known to not be jealous of them. Let white people have what belongs to white people. They got homosexuality, let them have their homosexuality. They got their secret fraternities where they get to get together and do weird ceremonies in the woods and paddle each other on the behind and pass an egg from one man's mouth to another man's mouth. Let them have those things. Let us have what belongs to us. James Baldwin, that's his name, Hadar James Baldwin is a flaming homosexual. But James Baldwin, you listen to his words, it sounds good. Sound like this cat is a revolutionary. This cat's speaking, he's speaking powerful. The entire time, James Baldwin is speaking about being gay. He ain't speaking about being black. James Baldwin's struggle wasn't being black. His struggle was being gay. You go back in the new civil rights. Listen, go back to the civil rights. Who's one of the famous women that they herald from the civil rights movement? Angela Davis. Angela Davis with the black power and the afro. Angela Davis was licking white vagina. She was a dyke. Still is a dyke. Their struggle wasn't about black people being accepted. Black people never had to struggle for acceptance. That was a homosexual mindset, a homosexual movement. And we got dragged into it because they would give anything to be able to be homosexual. They would give anything to be accepted by their slave master. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You understand? Hold on, y'all. And that's what we got to understand about what has transpired in our history. You understand? Now, I'm not sure about Langston Hughes. Y'all keep mentioning Langston Hughes. I'm not sure if Langston Hughes was a homosexual. I got to look up Langston Hughes. But a lot of them cats, I would not be surprised if Langston Hughes was as well. But a lot of them college educated, them they call them the boule. Them college educated fraternity cats, a lot of them was homosexual, man. They was gay as hell. And their entire struggle was not about black people. It was about being gay and being accepted for being gay. And we have got to acknowledge that and recognize it and understand that, oh, this wasn't even about us. It wasn't even about being black or struggling for our acceptance. It was about being a homosexual and being accepted for your homosexuality. That's what their movements and their struggles was about. Dropping that from Proverbs 3:31, let's go to Isaiah 30. As a matter of fact, Isaiah 31:1. Go to Isaiah 31:1. Here's another reason why black people have turned their backs on black power and joined their oppressor. It's Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Woe is an old Quaker English word for destruction. God said, destruction to them that go down to Egypt for help. What is Egypt? Now, literally, Egypt was a place. But Egypt is the place of our oppressor. Going to Egypt was like going to the slave master. During the time of Isaiah, we were faced with captivity by the Babylonians. And because we didn't want to face the Babylonians, we ran to Egypt. Went to the Egyptians, went to Pharaoh to seek help so that we could avoid fighting against the Babylonians. Well, the Lord said, woe to them that go down to Egypt to help. Destruction if you go to Egypt for help. Why would we go to Egypt for help? Why would we go to our slave masters for help from another slave master? Think about the civil rights movement. If you're suffering under white people, why would you go and protest to the government of white people? If white people are oppressing you in the South, why would you go to the government of white people and appeal to them? It's the same concept. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. The Most High said they go into Egypt because they see the power of Egypt. They go into Egypt so that they can stay on their high horse, so they can stay on their they can stay on their horses and trust in their chariots. We turn to our oppressor because the oppressor looks more powerful than us. Black people, I mean, think about all the black people in America and think of how many have been successful revolting against the white man. Just think about it. What we're doing in ISUPK, it's bad for business if you black. This is not the way you rise out of the ghetto. This ain't the way that you make it big. This ain't the way you get rich and get a nice condo and get your children in those nice schools. This job that we're doing, this is not the blueprint for the American dream. Revolution is not the blueprint. Revolution against the white man is how you assure yourself that you're going to stay poor. You assure yourself that you're going to have a hard life and it's going to be rough. The average black person looks at what we're doing and they say, man, them niggas crazy, man. I couldn't never, man, them niggas is retarded. And what do black people say when we bring up crack addiction and bring up, the mass incarceration? The average black person say, yeah, man, I got to worry about my family, man. I got bills I got to pay, man. I got to take care of mine. They not thinking about the nation. They not thinking about them people who got locked up, that brother, you know what I'm saying, who's on child support. They worried about their self. That is a mentality that comes from our oppressor. That is a mentality that comes from Egypt. The Lord said, destruction to them that trust in Egypt, that go down to Egypt for help. If the men and the women of that civil rights movement knew God, or led by men of God, had any understanding of what God said in his word, then they would have never done the things that they did. But guess what? They did not know God. They were not led by men of God. They did not have any, understanding of what God required. So they went and they joined Egypt. They went and they trusted in the White House. They trusted in the president. They trusted in the power of America. Think about it. The civil rights movement came after World War I and World War II. It's a movement after we saw our oppressor kill all their enemies and win. Hell, we fought and helped them. Those black people at that time, they were not trying to fight the white man. They were not trying to separate from the white man. They were trying to be a part of the power. You understand? It's Isaiah 31:1. Isaiah 31:1. You understand? Or the trust in Egypt was 30:1. Isaiah 30:1, Isaiah 31:1 are saying similar things, but this one was more to the point. Everybody understands? I'm going to read on. This is verse 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. This is the Lord saying that this is Isaiah saying that the Lord was going to punish those who went down to Egypt. He was going to punish those that turned their back on the Lord. And look at black people today. Black people thought that by joining a white man, joining America, we were going to be great. We were going to prosper. You understand? But joining a white man got us more destruction. Joining a white man got us more poverty. Joining a white man got us more evil brought on us. Hell, life for a black man was rough before 1965. But look at the life of black men after 1965. I remember, man, hearing my grandfather talk about his childhood and his brothers and how they ran the streets and different things they went through. And I used to imagine what that world would have been like. I remember being young in the 80s, man, watching the Malcolm X movie and seeing the Muslims and them out on the street teaching and wondering what that must have been like to be in a place where it's only black people. Man, I grew up with Russian kids, East Indian kids, African kids. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of Migos. It was goddamn, went to school with Chinese and Korean and regular white, French white, Italian white. I went to school with everybody. I used to watch different movies and be like, man, what must it have been like to be around all niggas? Not knowing that DC, right around the corner, it was places where there was schools with all niggas. But I used to wonder how amazing it must have been to be in a black school with black teachers and black students. Oh, man, it must have been amazing. We traded that to join Egypt. I know they didn't know any better, but my family, my mother, my father, you know what I'm saying, my grandfather, my grandmother, they knew that moving us out to the suburbs or moving us to Maryland was going to be better for us. I never talked to them, but I'm sure they thought, well, this is better than the projects. These kids grow up here to be better than them growing up in them projects. When we grew up out there and grew up in them mixed communities, guess what? Still got a cousin that went to jail for selling drugs. Still got a cousin that went to jail for shooting a nigga. Hell, I still got caught up in getting high and running the streets. You understand? Riding around with gangsters, shooting niggas and doing different things. That suburbs didn't make anything better. Hell, how many cats I knew went to jail behind raping, having sex with a white girl, driving around in her car, but then her parents find out and they say you raped her. Or they say you stole her car when you get in an accident and get pulled over by the police. Man, joining a white man was not better for us. And the Lord has shown us by the way he's made us pay for it. Reading on, Isaiah 31:3. Now, the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that help shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down together, and they shall all fail together. That's what's happening in America. That's America right now. We ran down into Egypt, ran to trust in the white man. The Lord said, no problem. I'm just going to have to punish I'm going to have to destroy the Egyptians too. It was going to be just us being destroyed. It was going to be the Lord just whipping our behind to teach us a lesson. We ran up under the Egyptians, ran up under the white man, like hiding under white people was going to mask our problems. Hiding under white people was going to help us against God. God said, no problem, I'll just destroy you and them. And that's what's happening in the black community, the Native Indian community, the Hispanic community. We're running to join our oppressor, to side with him. And God is saying, no problem, I just got to destroy them too. For the sister Anisha, help me, let me know if that answers your question, all right? Let me know if that answers your question. See something? Let me get okay, this is 1 Peter chapter 3 for the sister Aranya. All right, Most High in Christ. If y'all got any more questions, come on with them. All right, I'm gonna double back to the sister Aranya. Asked the question. Her question was, if a man is not in the truth, if a man who is not in the truth is with a woman who is, how can she win him over? Right? The sister wants to know, how can a woman who has a man in the world win that man over? Right? Now, whether the woman is in the world or in the truth, whether the man is in the world or in the truth, you know, a lot of the times men, the way that we are is universal, meaning you're not going to find too many variations from, okay, I ain't even going to say all that. Let me just put it out there plainly. If a woman wants to win a man over, she has to appeal to what that man desires or what that man needs. You know what I'm saying? And one man, you understand? And one way that a woman can win a man over is by submitting herself to him, humbling herself under him. A lot of women, okay, win him over to the truth, no problem. This is even more specific to that question right here, what we about to read. But it's still the same. It's still the same. Same mindset applies. You understand? In order for a woman to win a man over to the truth, she has to show how the truth has humbled her, has made her easier to conform to him or easier to serve him. The truth has to lighten your no, countenance is the word that's coming to me, but the truth has to make you soft. The truth has to make you easy to serve. You know what I'm saying? Eager to please, ready to do what it takes to make one happy. A man sees that in a woman, especially if you were a woman before who may not have been that way. The truth should make you soft and feminine and kind and sweet, and you can win a man that way. You can show a man that, man, this truth thing must be heavy because she never was this way before. I never could get her to say yes, sir. I never could get her to do what I needed her to do. I never could get her to go out her way to make sure that I was satisfied, but I see that this truth thing has done that. But let me check this truth out. Let me see what this truth is about, to where it got this woman to be kind and sweet and feminine, and it's a beautiful thing. Here's what the Bible says. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. Wives, submit yourself to your own husband. Subject yourself. Put yourself under the authority of your man. That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. So if you have a man who's not hearing the truth, he will hear you say, sir, yes, sir. He will hear you say, baby, is there anything I need that you need? Anything I can do to serve you? He will hear you say, yes, my Lord. He will hear you say, you know, baby, you know, king, is there anything I can do to relax you? Anything you need from me? Now, if you're a woman that's already been doing that, Most High in Christ, but I doubt it that you already been talking to your man that way, saying those things. The truth will make you learn to openly submit to your man, openly subject yourself to his authority, and that'll soften the man up. Even the most cruelest, harshest, you know, rough man, you come to him and say, my Lord, is there anything I can do to service you? Any way I can satisfy you in this moment? He'll put that drink down. He'll turn around and say, huh? What'd you say to me? My Lord, I humbly would like to know if there's anything I can do to please you and satisfy you. And he'll say, well, yeah, shit. Take these boots off and give me another beer. You get down there, you untie his shoes, take them boots off, go get him another beer. Is there anything else, my lord? No, baby, shit, sit down, relax. You know what I'm saying? And he lost. Don't know what the hell going on. Well, guess what? You start doing that. That's your normal routine. He'll say, "Baby, what's gotten into you? What's going on with you?" Oh, well, I've been studying and in the truth and learning about the Bible, and I just want to be the type of woman that God wants me to be. And I've been learning that this is how God wants a woman to be. So I want to make sure that I honor you the right way. He'll say, "Well, God damn. Who taught you this? Where you learning that from?" The Israelites. Who the hell is that? Well, baby, Daddy, I don't know. If you would like to know, I could give you the link to the class. Listen, he can be won by the conversation of the wives. Reading on 1 Peter 3:2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. A man can see you, the way you talk to him, and the way you kind and you sweet, you're approaching him, but also acknowledging that there's a chance he might not want to be approached. Your chaste conversation coupled with fear. A lot of you women, you entitled. A lot of you women, you just, hey, nigga, what you doing? Turn the TV off. Move your leg. Let me sit down. Why you in here watching TV by yourself? Why you get out the bed and you ain't let me know you was getting out the bed? Who entitled you to be all in my face and asking me these questions and sitting next to me? What are you doing? You understand? If a man sees that you are not assuming and that you're entitled to his space and his energy and his conversation, if you approach him in a way where it's, you know what I'm saying, my Lord, can I talk to you for a second? Could I have a word with the king? Imagine, brothers, for a second, you in your home, and instead of your woman coming and saying, you ain't gonna believe what so-and-so said today, your woman come to you and she stand there and say, my Lord, can I have a word with my king? And you say, what? Can you what? Yes, my Lord, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I would like to have a word with you concerning my day. What brother's gonna say, nah, I ain't trying to hear that? Every brother be like, yeah, shit, proceed, princess, sit down. Tell what's on your mind. What would you like to say? Imagine in your home, brother, if your woman addressed you as king and she acknowledged that she was the princess or the woman who didn't have the privilege or the honor to come to the king, but she's asking, King, can you hear my grievance? It would change everything in your life, brother. It would be so amazing. Sisters, think of what that would do to your home. I don't care how much you and your man argue. You come to that nigga right after a bad argument and you say, my Lord, can the princess have a word with the most honorable king? He would say, what? All right, sit down. Tell me what's on your mind. You understand? No man is arguing and fighting with that. Reading on. 1 Peter 3:3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. Hear the wisdom that they dropping on you women. Y'all think we brutes for we say, women, shut your mouth. Y'all think we, mean and we demeaning women when we say, woman, if you learn to keep your mouth quiet, you'll keep a man. We're telling you what this is wisdom from God that's in the Bible for what a woman could do to satisfy a man or please a man, or more specifically, win a man over to the truth. Now, this is poetic. This is written. Listen, a player wrote this. Peter was a player. The way Peter writing, this is player. You understand? But I'm gonna break it down and make it simple and easy for you to understand. But this is top level player right here. What's being said? 1 Peter 3:3. Okay, so boom, starting from verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of wives. You got a man that's not in the truth, He ain't got to listen to nobody break down those scriptures. He could just look at you and see the way you talk and the way you deal with him, and he can be won over to the truth. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, your man will see you honoring him, speaking to him in a kind way, speaking to him in a way where you are acknowledging that he is in authority, and you're just hoping that he can give you this one favor, do you this one honor of getting whatever you got to get off your chest. Verse 3, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning, meaning the man sees that what makes this woman's beauty is not what's on the outside. She doesn't dress herself up with the plaiting of hair. She doesn't dress herself up with wearing of gold or putting on of apparel, meaning this woman's beauty is not in the clothes she wears. It's not in the jewelry that she puts on. It's not in how her hair is done. That's not what makes this woman beautiful. What makes this woman beautiful, she let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. This woman, instead of worrying about her hair and what she has on and the gold she has, she worries about what's on the inside. She worries about showing this man, I can be quiet. I can be meek. Yes, my Lord, is there anything I can do to serve you? Yes, King, is there anything that I can do to please you? My Lord, graciously, if I may, I have some things that I would like to say to the king. Is it possible I can have a word with him? You talk to a man like that, the Bible says, which is in the sight of God of great price. A woman who can do that, in God's sight, that is a beautiful woman. She is valuable. Imagine you a black man, you go to work every day, and when you come home, instead of your woman feeling like she's entitled to ask you, to bother you, she just says, my king. She greets you at the door, my king, is there anything I can do for you? My king, is there any way I can serve you? Brother, you come home immediately after work. You wouldn't want to go get a drink. You wouldn't want to go hang. No, I'm going home, brother. Because when I get in the door, my woman's going to take my boots off. My woman is going to ask me if I need anything. She's going to have a hot meal ready for me. Brother, I'm going home. I don't want to hang out with y'all. Sisters, you want to win your man? Be this kind of woman. Let the truth change you in this way. And for some of you sisters, you think in your whole life, you thought that being this kind of woman was stupid or it's goofy. Maybe you still think it's stupid or it's goofy. But if you want to win your man, let the truth be the excuse for being this kind of woman. Fight yourself on what you think you're supposed to do and be this kind of woman and see how it works out for you. Let the truth be the excuse. Just, hey, I ain't never with none of that bowing my head and calling him Lord shit. But let me try it out. Let me try and test what this Bible says and see if it make my relationship better. Some of you women, you might not be having enough sex. You think you need more sex in your life. If you want more sex in your life, you ain't got to be like Megan Thee Stallion. You ain't got to be like, you ain't got to be like, goddamn, who the other nasty one? Cardi B. Be like this. Be the way the Bible telling you to be. I guarantee you, your man will start having sex with you every day. Your man will have sex with you every day if you be this way. You do this, you get all the sex you want. Hell, he'll give you anything. You understand? The Bible has given a woman a blueprint to having a man to do anything, namely coming to the truth. Read on. 1 Peter 3:5. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. You want to know how women back in the day did it? You want to know how your grandmother kept your grandfather? You want to know how your great-grandmother kept your great-grandfather? They adorned themselves with this spirit of the Lord. They put on being meek and being humble. They put on being quiet, being a man's peace. You understand? They put on being in subjection from their husbands. You understand? Sister asks, what if her husband is far from her? Okay. Then she from afar should be kind and be sweet and be nice. Let's say the brother's in Japan. You call him, good evening, my lord. The princess is just calling to make sure that the king is faring well today. Now, you ain't got to use the goofy language I'm using. Not goofy. You ain't got to use the language I'm using. Hell, maybe he don't want to be called king. Maybe he like being called, Big Daddy. Call him Big Daddy. Maybe he like being called, I don't know, what I'm saying? The Silver Surfer. Whatever the nigga like, call him Silver Surfer, my lord. Is there anything the snowy princess can, whatever thing y'all got? Hell, who knows what it is? Find what that man like and give it to him. Give it to him honorably and righteously and fighting everything in yourself to hold back. Give that man every bit of whatever he needs to be happy. I don't care if you in Chicago and that nigga live in China. Call him and say, greetings from Chicago. I just wanted to let the king know that his presence is greatly missed. And I thank you for being a part of my life, and I love you for all that you do. I know life is hard in China. Just know that I'm here in Chicago awaiting your return whenever you deem worthy to bless me with your presence. That nigga will be on a flight from Chicago tomorrow. Or at the very least, that nigga will say, oh, well, goddamn, that's amazing from Chicago. It's good news to hear from Chicago. And it'll be a small step. He might not fly back now, but God, you keep that up, he'll be back. You keep that up, he'll find a way to get back to you. You understand? He's far from you. Don't stress him out while he's away. Don't give him hell while he's gone. Don't ask him when he coming back and what. Don't do none of that. Just be there waiting. And a lot of you women, you got to find a way to live your life when your man is away. Find a way to live your life when he ain't there or he can't be close. Find a way to be productive. Find a way to, stay busy. Find a way to prepare to make that man happy when he gets back. You're just sitting there, miserable the entire time he's gone, mulling over what he's doing and where he at and why he ain't calling you. Your spirit is not going to be prepared to receive him. And it literally, you have to view yourself as the subject of a king. You think when a king went away to fight a battle, he came back, he wanted to hear shit from the people in the castle? Nigga, I'm fighting so you can be in this castle, bro. I'm not trying to come back to this castle and hear nothing. I come back to this castle to get served. Come back to this castle to be showered with gifts and bitches dropping roses at my feet. I ain't come here to argue or to bicker or to ask you for you to ask me where I've been. Look at yourself as the one who holds down the castle while the king is gone. And think to yourself, what would please the king upon his return? And do that. A lot of you women don't look at your man as a king. You don't look at your man as he deserves that honor. And that is why your relationship is suffering. Everybody understands? I'm going to read verse 6 and that's it. 1 Peter 3:6, it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. That's what you should do. You should do what Sarah did. Call your man Lord. And it ain't just the calling. See, y'all women get it twisted. Y'all think he just want me to call him Lord. He just want me to put him up on. No. It's something, it's something spiritual about submitting yourself to a man. Something spiritual about humbling yourself to a man. And a man cannot resist it. Doesn't matter who you are, what position you're in. There's certain things a man cannot resist. And as a woman, you've got to cater yourself to giving your man that which he cannot resist. The Bible just revealed it to you. Everybody understands? All right. So that's it on that. Let me know if that answers your question for the sister Aranya. All right. I keep saying Aranya. It might be Arena. Salaki, is it Arena or Aranya? Salaki is just if I'm pronouncing it wrong. All right. Let me see. Anybody else have any questions? I seen a brother just popped in. Okay. Officer Hadaria Allah said, breakdown on Jeremiah 31 and 34. Jeremiah 31:34. All right, let me get Jeremiah 31:34. Let's get it. Y'all got any other questions? Come on with them, all right? Brother Mikhail Dixon said that's why they say the hoes winning. Well, okay. You're a little bit on it, Mikhail. That's a different reason they say the hoes winning, though. And that's mainly on brothers. Any woman that's righteous and honorable feel like hoes is women, it's brothers' fault. Brothers are to blame for that. You know what I'm saying? And brother, matter of fact, let me cover that. You know what I'm saying, for you brothers out there, you want to know why your woman don't treat you like you were Urana. Okay, Urana is the pronunciation. All right, no problem, Urana. The reason why a lot of brothers, a lot of your wives don't take this approach and don't treat you the way Sarah treated Abraham is because of you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers, a lot of brothers must take the responsibility, but don't want to, concerning what's wrong with their woman. A lot of you brothers, listen, your woman is a reflection of you. Your woman is or is not what you put in her, what you teach her. You understand? If you got a woman that ain't being this way, you got nobody to blame but yourself. Because everything about you as a man should push this woman to bring that out of her. Everybody understands? I'm going to go back to 1 Peter 3, and I'm going to read verse 7, because verse 1 through 6 talks about the women and how women must be. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Malakia, tuned into toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things that I'm bringing out now, I bring out on my show I do every Wednesday. But let me help y'all understand something, brothers. You want to know why your woman is argumentative, why she's entitled, why she fight with you on certain things? It's your fault, because you've never required anything of her for her to be treated like a princess. You've never required anything of her for her to be treated, you know what I'm saying, like she has to earn your love or your favor. A lot of you brothers, just to get a woman, you teach her that she could do whatever the hell she want to do. You understand? If a lot of you brothers, you teach a woman that she ain't got to be special. You know what I'm saying? That she can do whatever she want to do, and you're gonna treat her kind and be nice anyway. Sure, you might get mad sometimes, you might be frustrated, but she can do whatever she want to do. Here's why she feels that way. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7 says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. You understand? A lot of brothers, you are not dwelling with your wife according to knowledge. If you got a woman who you know is sensitive, if you got a woman who you know is insecure, if you got a woman who needs to be showered with love and attention and caring, then you have got to make sure that you teach her that she has to do A, B, C, and D in order to receive that attention, that love, and that care from you. If you can show your woman that in order that I'm going to be a husband regardless, but if you want the best from me, I got to get the best from you, then she'll give you her best. But if all you're doing is using the fact that she needs certain things from you against her, then she's not going to give out of honor and love and, you know, and the spirit of quiet, of meekness and humbleness. She'll give in the spirit of, you know, manipulating you. She'll give in the spirit of taking advantage of you. You don't want your woman to be that way. You want your woman to give freely. Well, then guess what, brother? You got to give freely. You understand? You got to be a husband that dwells with your woman according to knowledge. You understand? And give honor to her as unto the weaker vessel. The only way your woman can feel like hoes is winning is if you're showing her hoes is winning. You understand? And the only way you can show her that hoes is winning is you giving hoes the things that she believes belong to her. And you're not requiring anything from hoes. A hoe get to just be a hoe, but your woman, she got to do this and do that and be honorable in the Lord and be quiet and meek. But you having sex with some hoe who ain't got to do nothing. Giving your attention to some woman who ain't had to provide anything. Don't do that, brother. Or do it and expect your woman to flip out. Do it and expect your woman to be upset because you're dwelling with her according to knowledge. But don't just look at it like, hey, man, this woman out of pocket, this woman crazy when you're not doing your job. If your woman out of pocket, your woman crazy, brother, you got a woman that's out of pocket and that's crazy. It's your fault. Your woman insecure and she fragile, well, then guess what? You got to know she insecure and she fragile, and don't do things that would trigger her insecurity and cause her to break. Or you could break her. Break her if you want. You'll just have a shattered woman. Go ahead and make her, toughen her up. You'll just have a hard-ass woman. But you got to know to deal with a woman the right way if you want to get the desired results. Sarah called Abraham Lord. What did Abraham do? Abraham did every goddamn thing. You understand? You think, listen, Jacob had Leah and Rachel. They gave Jacob their concubines. You think Jacob wasn't sweet and romantic and kind, saying all the sweet, wonderful things to them and making sure they were straight and checking up on them and making sure that their needs was tended to? Oh, Jacob did all of that. You think Jacob was just some hardcore, mean nigga all the time? No, that ain't how you get a woman to give you another woman. Goddamn. Jacob had 2 women who he worked 7 years apiece for. And having those women, they went and gave Jacob another woman. That's because Jacob was doing his job. Jacob was doing his thing, making sure those women were tended to and cared for. You understand? Mikhail Dixon said, right, I'm saying they go in the strip clubs, they know how to cater to a man. He go, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Well, yeah, but okay, still that's brother's fault though, Mikhail. You know what I'm saying? If a woman got to go to a strip club and be a slut in order to win, then that's men's fault. That's you, as brothers, you saying, yeah, I want me a nasty strip club hoe and not a quiet at home calling me king and taking off my boots and serving me food woman. And that's your fault as a man. You want to know why the women is in that strip club? Because all y'all brothers taught them that that's where you go to get a man. Think about it, Mikhail. Think about how many women is nastily licking vagina today because they were taught that licking vagina is the way you get some man. Brothers taught them that. That's brothers' fault. It ain't these women's fault. These women is dyking because men taught them that. You understand? Hell, some of these women, they know that a man gonna have more than one woman. They know there's no way I'm gonna stop this man from having other women. But they still jealous. So you know what they do? They go and they practice licking vagina. They go and they practice getting with girls and having girlfriends and licking vagina and having nasty threesome sex. Because in their mind, this is how I'm going to keep my man. When I do settle down and get me a man, he's going to want to have other women. So I'll bring him other women and we can lick their vaginas together and have sex with them together. And that woman doesn't even know that he's still going to cheat on you. Because it ain't about no threesome. It's about you not being there. You understand? But brothers, we got to take responsibility. It's your fault. And furthermore, if you're a brother that thinks that only good women are in the strip club, brother, then you don't have no value in yourself. You don't view yourself the way you're supposed to. There are millions of good women running around here. Hell, hundreds of them in the UPK. You understand? There's some good women out here. You just got to be a man that does not settle for a hoe. A lot of you brothers, you blame ain't no good women out here for you liking hoes. The problem ain't there ain't no good women, brother. You just like hoes. That's all. Just say I like hoes and fight your urge to want hoes. Don't blame the good women. Don't say ain't no good women out here. That's why I go to the strip club. You're lying. I know, brother. I'm not saying you. It ain't personal. I'm just talking in general. For brothers out there, if you say ain't no good women out here, but you go to the strip club and meet a broad, nigga, you are the problem. It ain't the women. I don't give a damn how bad it is out here. I'm never meeting no hoe in no strip club. I'm never stepping in a strip club. I don't care how bad it is out here. I'm not, listen, certain things I just won't do. And as a man, you have to decide for yourself that there's certain things that you won't do. I tell you what, Abraham didn't meet Sarah in the goddamn strip club. Abraham ain't meet Sarah on, Tinder or whatever the hell these apps y'all using. You brothers meeting women on goddamn these apps and wondering why the hoe ain't no good. Look where you met at. Take some responsibility as a man And there's things the scriptures say you're supposed to do to make sure that you're not playing yourself. The reality is a lot of you brothers are playing yourselves, and the ones who suffer are the good women who feel like all these good men is choosing these hoes. Everybody understand? Don't choose hoes, brother. You know what I'm saying? And if you got a problem not choosing hoes, come in the truth and get some help. Come in the truth and learn how to fight the hoes, because there's a whole lot of good sisters out here that's not hoes, and they could be had. You know what I'm saying? You just got to, hey, you want them, you got to get them. Everybody understand? Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 34. This is Officer Hadiah Allah wanted this question answered. It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Hadiah Allah, what's your question on this scripture? You want just to break down? Go back. Break down Jeremiah 31, 34. Okay, so so this is saying that a time is going to come where we're not going to need to teach on the street no more. We're not going to need to think about your life now as an Israelite. You bump into somebody who recognize you because of your fringes or because of your, UPK attire that you got on, your headpiece. You know what I'm saying? Some of you brothers, you walk around in your UPK clothes, you hang your spikes on your armbands, your wrist greaves. People see you and they like, damn, hey man, what's all that about? Right? There's gonna come a time where no one will ask you what's that about. There's gonna come a time where people see you and not gonna be, hey man, you ride bikes? People are asking, oh, y'all ride bikes? I'm gonna go give me a motorcycle just cause. Just so the next time a nigga asks me that, yeah, brother, I ride bikes. But I'm also an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But there's gonna come a time when people are not gonna be confused about who we are no more. Black people are not gonna be lost and confused. Right now, if you're a brother, some of you live in cities, you live in a neighborhood, people see you coming and going, and so one day a cat stop you and say, hey man, what's going on, brother? Hey man, I don't, no disrespect, man, I've been seeing you coming and going, man. I just want to know what's that about, man? What the fringe is about, and it's got the shield of David, you know what I'm saying? What's that about? You know what I'm saying? You tell that brother, you break it down to him, well, I wear the fringes, man, because of the laws, and do this because of that, you know what I'm saying? And you explain to him about what being in the truth is and how you don't eat pork and you don't sell drugs or smoke weed, and you're about the uplifting of black people. And they learn it and they like, okay, damn, man, that's what's up. You tell that brother, hey, man, come to class. Give him a flyer. Well, there's going to come a time where everybody knows the truth, where everybody is already fearing the Lord. The problems a brother or sister have is not because of them not knowing the Lord. It's because, hey, the Lord that's him, it's him testing them. You know what I'm saying? There's going to come a time when we ain't got to teach no more. Hadiah Allah said fake Israelites use this to say we are not fully in the New Testament. Well, that's because fake Israelites don't know the Bible. You understand? This is not, the new covenant is not based on everybody knowing the laws. The new covenant is based on all of us. Okay. Here's how fake Israelites trip brothers up. Fake Israelites say that the Old Testament was dying under Moses' law, right? And the New Testament is, okay. Fake Israelites say that the New Testament is the kingdom of heaven. So they say the Old Testament was the Levites would kill you. The New Testament is the kingdom of heaven. And that is not true. The New Testament began when Christ died. The New Testament began when Christ stopped the priest from killing. The Old Testament, the priest would kill you. New Testament, the priests have mercy and they teach. Verse 34 is talking about the kingdom. It ain't talking about the New Testament. Verse 34 is the result of the New Testament. So when you break this down, Hadiah Allah, remember to say that. You read Jeremiah 31, verse 34 is the end result of the New Testament. The Old Testament, the end result was just a bunch of people died and a bunch of people get kicked out the nation. The New Testament, we're not killing anymore. We're not kicking people out. We're teaching them to repent, teaching them to serve the Lord. In the end, because of this new approach, because of this New Testament, because of not killing brothers anymore and kicking them away from the nation, eventually, verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Verse 34 is the result of the New Testament. Speaking of the New Testament, stops in verse 33. You understand? The Old Testament, we had the laws of Moses. If you sinned, there were certain laws, you died. You wasn't circumcised on the 8th day, and you was kicked out of the nation. That was the old covenant. The new covenant, the Lord was going to make a covenant with us and put his laws inside of us. He was going to let us know right from wrong, and they were going to be meant to teach us right from wrong, and we wouldn't die, wouldn't be put away anymore. And the result of that new covenant is verse 34. Everybody understands? So any fake Israelite saying we ain't in the new covenant because verse 34 hasn't been fulfilled, they don't understand what the scriptures is talking about. Let me know if you understand, Hadar. Anybody else have any questions? If anybody else have any questions, let me know, all right? Let me go ahead. Let me get this. Hold up. Anybody? All right, Most High Christ, Most High Christ. Anybody else have any questions? Let me get Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. Get Proverbs 1 and 7. All right. Salaki, you did ask one. You did ask one, Sister Waraka. Let me go ahead and get that for you, Salaki. Salaki, sister. It says, if COVID-19 is a plague from the Most High, if you contract it, does it mean the Most High isn't with you? Also, how does one cope being around death day in and day out as a nurse or caregiver? Okay, it's a very good question, all right? So for sure, COVID-19 is a plague from the Most High, right? So the sister wants to know, if you catch COVID-19, what does it mean? Does it mean that the Lord is against you? Does it mean that the Most High is not with you? Let me get trying to think what scripture to go to. Bear with me. Let me see. Let me get let I want to go to Leviticus. Not 13. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hold up. All right, I want to go to Leviticus 14. Let's go to Leviticus 14 real quick. Leviticus 14. And the reason why I'm going to Leviticus 14, for the sister, Urana, give me a second, all right? Leviticus 16, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. But in essence, Leviticus 14 is the law concerning disease, right? It's the law concerning disease. And the disease that they encountered often back then was the disease of leprosy, or it was the disease that caused you to have white spots in your skin. These spots they weren't just white spots, they were sores and boils. It's a skin disease that you would catch back then. And the Lord gave the priests laws on how to deal with sick people who were sick with this disease, who had contracted it, right? And so the Lord gives a answer for sickness, right? All sickness, everything in life has a spiritual, attachment to it. Nothing in the world is just what it is. Everybody understands, and this is kind of complex, but it's simple. We are humans, right? We in this body, but it's the spirit that makes this body alive, right? Same thing with animals, same thing with everything that's alive. You got a body, but then there's a spirit inside that body. All spirits come from the Most High. There's spirits inside of people, spirits inside of animals, spirits inside of bacteria and viruses, right? COVID-19 is a virus, and it's alive because there's a spirit in the virus, right? The Most High has given man the ability and the knowledge to come up with medicines to fight different diseases, to fight these different spirits, right? COVID-19 is a curse from the Most High on the earth right now. It's killing a lot of people. It's destroying the economy of the earth. It's causing a lot of things to come to a halt, right? What does that mean for an Israelite brother or sister in the truth who knows the Lord and is serving him? If you contract it, it means that the Lord is testing you with this plague, testing you with this sickness. You understand? To see if you will trust in him and stand with him, or to see if you're going to let it defeat you, right? And the Lord has tested many of us with many different ailments in our flesh. You read the book of Job. Job was tested in his flesh with a disease. Job was tested with something that crippled him and made it hard for him to walk. But it was coming from Satan. Did the Lord test Job with the diseases and with the crippling because he hated Job, because he was against Job? Or did he test Job with it because he knew that Job would prove to be faithful and honorable to the Lord in the end? We have got to understand that physical illness in our bodies comes from the Lord. Whether you catch a cold, you get the flu, you get COVID-19, you get cancer, all of these things are from the Lord. Everybody understands. And the Lord has made doctors and the medical field and given people training and understanding in order to help the body. But more importantly, we have got to trust in the Lord to help our spirit. Everybody understands? So contracting COVID-19 does not mean the Lord is against you. Not contracting it doesn't mean the Lord is with you. It just means that the Lord didn't see fit to test you with it. Now, if you have contracted COVID-19, it don't mean you're going to die. Doesn't mean that God hates you or is against you. The Lord has saw fit to test you with it. Same thing with cancer, any other disease. The Lord, some tests he chooses for some people, others he don't choose them. I've known plenty of brothers and sisters in the truth who've contracted COVID-19. They healed from it. They got better, and that was it. Everybody understand? Now, the second part of your question, Sister Warwick, was about being a nurse. For y'all that don't know, Sister Warwick is my wife. She is a nurse. She is an emergency nurse, and she travels the country going to different cities and different places and working. Right now, she's in a place that's hard hit with COVID, and there's a lot of patients right now in the medical industry. a lot of what they're doing to people who come into the hospital, there's so many different measures in place to protect the workers that a lot of people are just being allowed to die. I'm saying some people are dying from COVID, some people are dying from regular stuff that they just aren't treating or able to treat because of all of the provisions that's in place to protect the healthcare workers. So as a result, Sister Waraka sees a lot of people who die. She sees a lot of people who lose their lives, and it can be difficult to be around a lot of death at any time of your life. What I constantly tell Sister Waraka is that she has to approach her slavery as if she is a soldier on the battlefield, but that more importantly, she is a soldier who the Most High has sent into this place to be a blessing to people. You understand? I tell my wife that you are not just some nurse, you're not just a nurse with a degree and working a good job. You are an angel that the Lord is sending to literally heal people and bring them back to life, or to be there to comfort them as the Lord takes them out of this life. Either way, you have to see beyond the purpose that the white man is using you for and see why the Lord has you there. Everybody understands? And there are scriptures that can make it easier to digest death. Death is always one of those things where it's difficult to accept, difficult to deal with. You got to grieve. You got to go through the emotions of what it takes to process it. But you can learn to understand that death is just a part of life. Death is not the end. Death is not the finale. But death is just the beginning of your next life. Everybody understands? And I tell these things to my wife to help encourage her and to keep her strong, because the only way that she's going to be able to fight is if she puts the Lord in her mind. I can't tell her, F those people who dying. I can't tell her, who cares about that. Don't work. You understand? So I teach her that she's a soldier, but she's a soldier for the Lord, and that she'll be used to either heal people and bring them back to life, or she'll be used to comfort someone as they transition out of this life. Everybody understands? Let me get Deuteronomy 32 and 29 and 1 Samuel 2 and 6. All right. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. All right. Deuteronomy 32 and 39 says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. These are the words of God. These are the Most High's words, him speaking about himself. And the Most High said that he kills and he makes alive, that he wounds and he heals, and there is no one who's on the level with him. You understand? And so if you're someone who's in the medical field, like my wife, or if you know someone who's in the medical field and they're struggling with all the different things that they have to see and the death that they have to endure, remind them of who is in control. Remind them that it is God who is doing it. God is the one who is in control of life and death. God is the one who is in control of who lives and who dies. God decides who's going to get healthier and who's going to get worse. God decides who's, going to get sick and who's going to get better. So what you can't do is take it personal. You can't take life and death personal when you're in the medical field. It's not your fault. Somebody codes and you go in there to work on them and you're doing CPR and you're doing this and that. You're doing everything you can do. If they die, don't you take it personal. It's not your fault. It ain't something you did or didn't do. The Lord saw fit for it to be that person's time. Especially now with the COVID, there are some nurses, they're making them stand by and do nothing while someone dies. They're telling them you got 10 minutes to put all this equipment on. If you can't get that equipment on, they just gotta die. Well, guess what? Do not take it personal that person gotta die. Don't you go in there without the spacesuit on. Don't you go in there without the mask and you get sick trying to save somebody. If it's their time to go, it's their time to go. Don't you take it personal. Everybody understand? The Lord is the one who decides on life and death. Whether we do something or that do something, it's the Lord who's doing it. Everybody understands? 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. And that can go for some of you brothers and sisters. You may have experienced death in your life. May have had somebody you was close to. Hell, I knew partners in the world who died, doing things, riding through the streets at night. And other friends of ours took it personal. I should have been there with them. I should have been with them. No, you shouldn't have, brother. If you should have been with him, then you would have been with him. That brother died or ain't here, it ain't your fault. Don't you blame yourself. Don't hold yourself accountable for anyone's life. You understand? Unless you're the one who took a life unjustly in your wickedness. In that case, you pray and ask the Lord to forgive you. You understand? But in terms of, things that are happening on the earth, the Lord is the one who's in control. 1 Samuel 2 and 6, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. We remember that the Lord is the one who does all these things, that he's the one who's in control. We living as a result of what the Lord decides. He's the one in control. He's the one in power. And that's going to help me transition to the topic I wanted to go into tonight. Sister Waraka, let me know if I answered your question. For the sister Urena, she said, how long does it take to get a name? 90 days. Since 90 days in classes. 90 days consistently in class, it takes to get your Hebrew name. You will, if you don't have a husband, you will receive your name from the camp leader under the city you're in. All right. So you got to find out what city you're in, who's the camp leader. He'll be paying attention to your time and the truth, paying attention to the days you've been in classes and checking in. And he will decide when it's time for you to receive your Hebrew name. And that name comes from the Lord. You understand? There's a process we go through in the UPK to get a brother or sister's name. And it doesn't come from one man. It comes from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So you just stay focused. You right now, sis, just focus on being in class. Focus on checking in once a week with your camp leader. You know what I'm saying? Focus on learning all you can learn and becoming the sister that the Lord calling you to be. Your name and everything else will come in due time. All right? All those things will come in due time. All right? So with that, let's go to Proverbs 1 and 7. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 7. Again, the title of the class was Living with Fear. You understand? Living with fear. And it's important to understand, I felt like this was an important class because we are living in a time of great fear. We are living in a time where people are going to be afraid of every goddamn thing. People afraid of coronavirus, even more afraid of the vaccine. People was afraid of Donald Trump, even more afraid of goddamn Joe Biden. And we living in a time of great fear and great, what they call it, trepidation. A lot of people unsure about what's going on, unsure about their life and, different things that they supposed to do and not supposed to do. You understand? But the Bible talks about those things. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. Proverbs 1 and 7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. What does that mean, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge? It is necessary in order for you to serve the Lord that you live in fear of what he'll do to you. For some people, the idea of that is just too much for them. They can't live believing that the God, God, the creator of the heavens and earth, would kill them. It's just too, it's too Star Wars-y. It's too, my life isn't in my hands. My life is in some sky daddy's hands. I've heard all kinds of crazy ass mocking of the Lord in my time in the truth and in the world. And some people who think that what we believe is crazy and ridiculous. Well, I think what's crazy and ridiculous is that there is no God, that everything just happens. A lot of people say, hey, man, it ain't. A lot of people have this, there's this new age religion, this new age belief, right? There's this new age belief that we are not, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a new age belief that, you know, we're all just conscious beings on a journey throughout space, and, you know, there is no God, and it's all man-made, and we're the gods, and we're the ones that this and that. And I always say to those people, well, if we all just conscious beings, you know, from outer space or just on this, you know, this earthly voyage and travel, then why did God decide that we be the ones in slavery, that we be the ones in poverty? If we all just beings experiencing something for the sake of consciousness, why didn't I manifest myself as a king? Why did I manifest myself to be Bill Gates? Why did I manifest myself to be some nigga from the hood who went through the things I went through in my life? Why did you manifest for your mother to be on crack and for you to be molested? And they never have an answer for that. And they never have an answer for it because it just ain't true. It ain't real in any sense of reality. But why do they believe these things? Why do they, you know, promote these things and hold on to them? Because it makes them comfortable. It makes it easier for them to, you know, go through life and to live life believing that there is no God. For other people, they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be made guilty for anything wrong that they've done. Because they don't want to be guilty, because they don't want to be held accountable. Salaki. Because they don't want to be guilty, they don't want to be held accountable, they just reject that there's a God. They reject that, you know, the truth. But guess what? There is no wisdom in living your life that way. There's no wisdom in denying the Most High. The Bible says that the beginning of wisdom is fearing the Most High. Why is fearing God the beginning of wisdom? Because when you are afraid of what God will do, you will search to find out, how do I not piss him off? When you are afraid of what God will do, you will search to make sure that everything you're doing stays, you understand, keeps you on the right-hand side of the Father. And without being afraid, you would never search and look for the answers that will keep you serving the Most High. And so as a man, as a woman, it is important that you constantly have in the back of your mind the consequences and repercussions of disobeying the Most High. Because having those consequences and repercussions is what makes you wise. It's what makes you strong to serve the Lord. And it is necessary, or else you'll just be another brother or sister who the Lord has to punish. Another brother or sister who the Most High has to discipline. And that is not what you want. Everybody understands. And some brothers and sisters might say, well, why do the Lord got to discipline me? Why do I need the Most High? You know, why does he need to punish me? If he's the Most High, he's the Almighty. What's the point? Salaki. Let me get that for you. Bear with me. This is Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. Everybody go to Joshua 1 and 5. It's Joshua 1 and 5. And understand that the Most High loves us and is very much the way a father's supposed to be. I remember being young And I remember getting beatings and getting spankings. And I remember being young thinking that those spankings and them beatings was just cruelty and evil and why they hate us so much that they would beat us. But as I grew older, I realized that those spankings, my grandfather used to say that spankings build character. And spankings build, like getting beat built character. And I never understood it. I'm not even sure my grandfather said it. My older cousin used to say it about getting whooped by my grandfather. He used to say, beatings build character. I was like, the hell does that mean? When I got older and I became mature and I realized, you know, that discipline when you're young gives you a reference point to punishment. When you're young and you get spanked, it hurts like hell. You cry till you go to sleep. It's painful to get beat. As you get older, the memory of those spankings is supposed to stop you from doing bad things as an adult. If I got beat as a kid for doing bad things, what more is going to happen to me? I'm a grown-ass man. The Lord understands that, in that if he does not punish us for doing wrong, then there will be nothing holding us back from doing wrong. But sin in the Bible is death. So sin causes you to lose your life. How could the Lord teach us about the danger of sin if he didn't punish us? You know what I'm saying? Punish us the way he has. Meaning, okay, trying to find a way to explain this. The Most High is a father and he wants us to prosper. But the only way that we'll prosper is if we obey him. But we won't obey him just because he said obey him. We will only obey him if there's a threat of pain. God's laws gave us instructions and also gave us pain. God gave us the pain so that it would fuel us to prospering. Everything about the laws and obeying God is about us prospering. The Father gets nothing from it. He doesn't gain anything from you worshiping him, serving him, but you will prosper in your life if you worship him, if you serve him. And not that prospering like the Christian church, not the prospering when you get money, but you're a homosexual, your son's a homosexual, your daughter's a hoe, your woman is, a slut. Not that kind of prospering, but prospering in the Lord's sight. Joshua 1:5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou may prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then shalt thou make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success. You understand? This was the Lord's instructions to Joshua. The Lord's instructions were obey me, keep my commandments, because they are going to prosper you. And as long as you obey me and keep my commandments, you don't have to be afraid of anybody or anything. Nobody can come against you. Nobody can stand in your way. Take these words, meditate on them, apply them to your life. That's the instructions for all of us today. Fear God by studying to show yourself worthy of his protection, studying to show yourself worthy of his deliverance, studying to show yourself worthy to be on his right-hand side and not on his left. You understand? The sister Waraka had Job 3:25 and Isaiah 66:4. Let's get those two scriptures right quick before we close out the class, all right? Job 3:25. Job 3:25 says, "For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me." All right, and then Isaiah 66:4. Isaiah 66:4 says, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. These are two good scriptures on fear, but this is fear that comes from disobeying God. The fear that we all should live in is the fear of the Most High. Fear of what would happen if we disobeyed him. And that fear is healthy. That fear keeps you searching, keeps you disciplined, keeps you focused and obeying the Lord. Because guess what? If I know that I'm doing what he said to do, again, Joshua 1 and chapter 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. That's the message the Lord has to those who fear him, to those who obey him. So guess what? If I'm obeying the Most High, I'm not afraid of what Joe Biden is going to do when he take office. If I fear the Most High, I'm not afraid of what COVID-19 is going to do to me. If I fear the Most High, I'm not afraid of what a vaccine might do to me. Put your trust in the Lord, man, and put him first. Know that the Bible says, let me get that last scripture. All right, it's Isaiah, I want to say 48. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. What's that? Was that 54? What is that? 54:17. Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord." The Most High would not allow for anything bad to happen to you. He's not going to allow for nothing, that's designed to destroy you if you trust in him. You put your faith in him. If you rely on him, listen, if you get COVID-19, putting your trust in the Most High is going to the doctor and seeing what they say. He said, we got this medicine, we got that medicine. Take the medicine. You want to do some research and study before you can? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Do your research. Look it up. Find out what's in the medicine. You understand? Take the medicine. Because the Lord has given you doctors to tell you what to do. You somebody who's afraid of a vaccine, go do some studying and some research, man. Go get a medical journal and read about the vaccine and do some studying. Don't just be afraid because of some YouTube video. Don't be scared because somebody telling you that this, robots and the damn virus is going to be able to, stop you from buying and going to the store. Don't believe in no conspiracy theories, man. Don't let no conspiracy theory make you afraid. Why? Because you're a child of God. If you're a child of God, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear the Most High, and he'll be with you. He'll never forsake you. He'll never forget you. And that is what we're going to need in these times that we're living in. And with that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When they come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. Tithes, which is a commandment, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, send into the school. What is that? Upcoming holy convocations. I'm supposed to be having a cookout in California, December 10th. Not in California, in Vegas, December 10th to the 13th. So y'all just keep your ears peeled for any changes that may occur with that. If you want to be a troop in the school, start wearing all black, black boots, black shirt, black headband, black scarf. And with that, Amajin, which means to stand. Give one courtesy salute, man. Israel Amajin Shabbat. Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua to the brothers. That's the Most High. Bless you in the name of Yahushua. Yahushua, hands down. Saw turn face the sisters. One courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel Amajin Shabbat. Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Allah Thun, Bahashem Yahushua. The Most High watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shah. With that, class dismissed, y'all.